Hi, my lovely spectators. Dee Dee here. Welcome to my studio. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna make something. Um, I don't know, but sometimes I get an idea in my head and then I just can't until I go to sleep. And so I was asleep. I was trying to sleep. My schedule is all up and down. But anyway, I had an idea because I want to start making, I started making a little golden book journal, just something for me, my prototype, and kind of making like a formula. And I'm like, I want to be able to add fun pages, but also the extra little bit of journaling that's a little different. So, these are some papers that I recently did with food coloring. They're a little rough. I don't dry them in the oven. I pretty much let them sit around, hang around in a pile. Sometimes this happens, and so, we may have some casualties. But for the most part, you know, it is what it is. A lot of variation in tone and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is the idea. So we're doing a prototype. And I really think that it could be a great mass make, but we're not going to mass make today. We're just going to make one or three, because if you're going to cut into a piece of paper, I've always done this. I want to maximize what I'm doing, and this is where my mass make mentality is from. So first off, we need bases. So I wanted some stability to it, and I wanted to feel like a piece of a ephemera, a tag, or something like that. So we're taking a piece of cardstock. This is 110 from Michaels, and I want to cut it into 3 pieces. We are going to have a little bit of scrap, but not very much. I'm going to cut it up to, let's see here. Let me move you. See, I tend to do my stuff over here because this is where I could see. But we're going to cut these to 3.5-inch wide. So let me take off this extra little bit here. 3.5, yes. 3.5. Another 3.5, and another 3.5. Okay. So we're gonna have this little piece of scrap. We may or may not have an opportunity to use this, but it's always good, hold on to your scraps until the very, very end, and then you decide what you want to keep. So we're gonna put that to the side over here, and now we have these guys. Now, of course, that was a 11-inch side. This is 8.5. A little golden book for the most part, I'm gonna just bring one out here, is much shorter than that. It's about 8 or just under 8. It's like 7 7/8. So we do have a little bit right there, but we're not gonna cut it off just yet because I'm thinking that's something else that can happen. Look, Peter. Anyway, so we're gonna have 3 of those, right? So now what I want to do is I need to cut my journaling paper. So of course, because I'm doing little golden book, I'm gonna add fun, bright colors, a little grungy, adjacent, I guess, kind of, but still. So we're gonna try to do them all together because I'm lazy. So we're gonna line them up together, and I don't want to do 3.5. I want to do 3.25. Okay, so just a little bit narrower. So we're gonna do 1. Okay, we're gonna move it over. Now let it go. So gotta refigure, re-straighten it out. 3.25. Okay, I'm gonna hold that so I don't have to be messing with it again. And then 3.25. Okay, and again we're gonna have it, and it's gonna be slightly wider, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So not a mass make, but mass make adjacent, but a potential for mass make. All right, let me stop babbling and put this out of the way. So what I want to do is I want to create a journaling spot on one side with these papers, right? A journaling, little booklet. And then on the other side, the potential, it's blank, why did I turn it over? But the other side, the potential for, how do you call it? To put something that is related to the journal itself or whatever the case is. So I'm looking at these colors, right? And I'm trying to think now, they're going to be staggered in that way, right? So we want to stagger them. And then once we've staggered them, we're also going to fold them. Now, I don't want this top one to be so little. So the stagger cannot be so much. So I've kind of come to the idea that I want my stagger to be, this is an inch. I don't want it to be an inch. I want it to be like 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to do that. Now the two in the middle are definitely going to be the same color, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here on my board again. I'm going to look to where it's 3 1/4. Right, so I have 3 1/4 of an inch, 3/4, 3/4, and then when I fold this one over, right, I'm gonna have 3/4, and then I'm gonna do it one more time. So I'm gonna lay this down on my board. I'm gonna look for the 3/4 mark, right? It's a quick eyeball, and then I'm gonna do this. Okay, so we have our little waterfall done and dusted. So now what I want to do is I want to place it up here. And I want to attach it. Now I've cut it so there's a little bit of the outside. So if you want to ink it, or you want to round it, if you want to make it more of a tag, and you can drop it down here, those are all options. So we'll take a look at those options, okay? Let's start with making it into a tag. So I'm going to use my tag thing. I'm going to get my little, there you go, my things there. And then I'm going to position it. So I'm going to make my hole. All right, so I'm going to go in about 1/2 an inch or so. Try to get the center. I should mark the center because then I'm going to be upset that it's not in the center. Okay. Let me turn my magic thing. And okay. It's not a magic thing. It's just a carousel. So my center should be about here. Okay, so put it to the side. And I'm going to go in about 1/2 an inch or so. Where did I lost it? There it goes, 1/2 an inch. Okay. So I have a little bit of a pencil mark. Take it off there from there. Okay, now I'm going to want to secure this, right? So what you might want to do is you might want to glue it down or whatever. I'm going to straight up just staple it. Get the stapler out. Okay, so here I have my stapler, and I'm going to staple over here and right here. Oh, stapler down. Wants to act crazy. Let's get the other stapler. And the other side. Okay, so you got the two staples, you got that, and you're like, oh, but yo, what, hello, it's no bueno. I'm gonna show you in a minute what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, we're gonna take I'm gonna need this whole yeah, well no, let's see, where is my stuff? I feel like my things, I can't find my things. Okay, we're gonna take anything that we can that's a little harder, and we're gonna press the staples down on the other side nice and flat. Okay, if I had a hammer, I would do it with the hammer, but it's 5 in the morning, everybody else is sleeping. This is just something that I got from Temu. You like, you know when your sweater has the thing and the string comes out, you put it here and you feed it through. Anyway, so now this is flat. Still, you can see it. Still, it's not that great. Well, guess what? That's what we keep the little scrap for, so we can do something like I would take a different color, let's say, and I would maybe fuss up the edge a little bit, like that, right? So I can actually get 2 of them out of this if I needed to. Okay, so I purposely picked the green because that's the double in the center there, and I'm going to put it right over the stapler, and it's going to wrap around to the front right here. So we're just going to glue it. We're going to glue her down, and that's going to add a little color to the other side, and it's going to cover that, and it's going to use some of the stuff that we might have otherwise thrown out. Okay, so, okay. So let's see here. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to try to make her straight underneath the circle, underneath the hole. Okay, around the back, I'm going to put the glue on this. Am I still in the frame? Yes, for the most part. This is going to cover that staple over there. And then we're going to come around and match up the top edge and there. Okay. All right. Okay. There you go. There we go. So now we have our little tag thingy, right? But you're going to say, well, hello, it's still too long. Well, this is what I was thinking. It is long. By how much? It is long by about 2 inches. So I don't want to go exactly to 2 inches because that'll match up with the paper. So what I want to do is I want to bring my scoreboard in, right? And then I'm going to bring my paper down here. I'm going to line up my paper to about 1/4 of an inch, maybe even less, 1/8 of an inch, and do a quick little score. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over to the other side, and now we have a pocket as well on this side here. So we could take the other piece if we wanted to. We could add it right there so we can know that there's a pocket there, and we still have space to add a little icon or something. So that is what I'm going to do. Am I going to wrap it all the way around? Would that be fun? Let's see. No, that might be distracting. Let's see here. This is just me not wanting to throw that little piece of green away. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna put the little piece on the top. So because we have that, I'm not gonna do a notch. I'm gonna put glue on this edge and this edge. So now I have a nice little pocket. So I have an opportunity to put some labels or something of that sort there. Here I can put an imagery of something related to a little golden or whatever the case is. And then I could even attach or add a little more ephemera in there or little bits and pieces in there. So I'm just going to attach this to the top of the pocket so we know that the pocket is there. Oops. Okay, let's not get it in there. All right. And let's do that. Make sure we wipe it off. It's right at the top. Yep. Okay. And okay. We can, you know what? I'm gonna wrap it around. I know I'm horrible. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna wrap it around just because I can't. So I'm not gonna worry about underneath. If they see it, it's fine. I'm just gonna wrap it around because why not, right? Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Wrap it around, glue it down. Yeah. All right. There we go. That's it. That's it. Look how quick and easy that was. So let's do another one with a different type of style of the top. So let's make the booklet first. Let's put the pink in the middle. So I'm going to go up to my board, line it up with the edge of something. If you wanted to add more paper, you can do a smaller. If you want it to be shorter, you can do a smaller piece spacing. I'm going to stick to, you know what, I'm going to do a smaller one. Why not? Let's see. Do I want to do a smaller one? I kind of like this height. I like this height. No, I'm not gonna do a smaller one. I like the 3/4. I think it's a good amount. So we're gonna do 2 3/4, right? Then we're gonna take the next one, lay that down. Okay, we're gonna line this up to a 3/4, right up to there. Hold this all together. Fold this side. Now it's 3/4. We'll straighten it all out in a minute. And then we're going to take the next one. I like, yeah, let's do that. We're going to put that down to the line. We're going to look for 3/4 for the blue. And then we're going to bend this up over here. And now I'm just going to straighten it all out, make sure everything looks good, nice and burnished. Okay, so with this one, let us just make it into a nice little rounded card. So I'm going to need to cut. So I'm going to have a little bit of a scrap on this one. No. But I think it's substantial enough scrap that it's going to be something that I want to hold on to. So I'm just trying to visualize. This is not a Fiskars. I don't know where the hell the line is. I'm just approximating it. Oh, look at that. Pretty good. Okay. So this will be a scrap. That's okay. Let's do our thing here like we did before. So before we glue on this one, because we're going to round the corners for this guy, let's go ahead. I'm going to do the middle, not the small and not the big. So hopefully that's not going to interfere with our little booklet. Okay, let's see right here. Okay, it you know, it looks kind of funny, so guess what? We will round these bad boys too. On that side with the same shape. Make sure it's nice and tight over there. And there we go. There. And then down here, let's hope that it's gonna do it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank the paper gods that it did it. Because it's only one sheet of paper. Okay, and then we're gonna have this, right? So how are we going to attach this one? Well, we could do the same thing, and we can take another strip of whatever and put it around as well. Or we can glue this one down on the top, right? On the top as well. So I'm going to do that one. So we're going to try different things, right? So we're going to try it. So I'm going to put a little tiny line. And you're like, hello, that's not going to help you with the rest of the papers. That's not it. That's not only it. That's why. So we're going to have Craft-a-lanche. All right. So now the booklet, the back page, and the top page are in. Everything is still shifted into each other. So what I wanted to do was first pick up my trimmer. And I'm going to make a hole. Far enough that I know that I've caught all the papers, right? So again, I know I said I didn't want to eyeball things. I'm going to eyeball things. Now, if you look in here, you're going to see that you have all the papers. So right now, don't let go. Don't let go. Okay? What you can do is you can put in some kind of piece of string or something. So I have a little thing of stuff I'm collecting. And we will grab something from in here. Let's see, what do I have? What do I have that's easy to use? I do not want to open up this whole thing, guys, onto the floor. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab some of this. Just to introduce another color, but remember, blue and pink make lilac. So we're just going to be, I should probably put an eyelet in here, but I'm not going to do that right now, just because we are doing, you know, we're just doing little semi-prototypes, and you can go with it, do with it what you will. Okay, and so we're gonna do that. So the little booklet will not, you know, the little booklet's not gonna swing away from the brown, right? Because it's glued down, but this is holding all the rest of the pages in here. You're gonna have a nice little, you know, something, a bow or whatever, it can go flat, and then you can put something decorative there. And you can tuck it into, I might even have tie it on the other way so that the purple's here, because then I'll have a focal image. I could tuck it into a pocket. So it's practically the same size, so smaller is better, it's fine. And so we've gotten two things out of this, okay? And so the third is just going to be a replication of whatever we have there. Let's see. So we have this guy. And we have 3 more papers. So we did the blue, we did the green together, the pink together. So let's do the blue together. Okay. And so let's go for that. Let's go for that. Now, just to see how much it would look, how much different it would look, I'm going to go to the 1/2 inch instead of the 3/4. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch. So it's a little smaller. This overlap is a little smaller. 1/2 inch. Okay. The pink, the green, I don't know which one. So like, well, it's pink and green. It's not Christmas. The 1/2 inch. So let's line this up here. We're going to do the 1/2 inch. We're going to fold this over. Okay, so we got the 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there. And then we're going to do the pink. And the pink is going to be, how come I got the pink on the top twice? I shouldn't have that. I did something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I wasn't paying attention to that. Now I'm trying to be like, oh, whatever. No, that wasn't my main focus. It was just, you know, trying to put the middle, and I forgot about the order of the other ones. Okay, so that's a 1/2 inch. Right, 1/2 inch. Yes, 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we have that. So now, oh my nose, sorry. Let's compare it to it. How much more? It's not that much shorter. It's a 1/2 inch shorter, right? It's a 1/2 inch shorter. So it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference. So now what can we do? We can do the same thing we did before. We can leave it straight and make it into like a library pocket. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave it straight. I think I am going to do the staple again because it was the easiest one to do. So we're going to staple it. And we're going to staple it over here. Probably could just stand with one staple, but you know, being extra. We got to flatten that down. So where did I put my little tool? I'm going to flatten that. And flatten that. Flatten and flatten. Okay. And then I'm going to mark where I'm going to want to, what's the word? Score. So I want to score it there. Okay, I don't know if you saw that, but I just scored it right where the mark was. Actually, a little lower than the mark, but that's fine. Get that out of the way. And then we're going to turn it over. Now it's much deeper. It's giving me library pocket vibes. So we can go the route of making this seem more like a library card and cover it this time with the brown, right? So let's do that. And we'll put the glue all over this. Okay, let's start with the front. Okay, so you may say, why are you flattening the staple? It's just, you know, it's going to be there. There's no way to avoid it. But a little flatter is going to just help things to lay nicer. I'm going to wrap this around. So now we're going to come to the back. Okay, we got that wrapped around. And then I do like the whole thing in the front with that little overlap. I don't know why, I just do. And so now if you wanted to ink, you should be inking the pieces. You could have a nice little inking around this strip here. That would be cool. But like I said, I'm not doing very much inking in my little golden. I don't think that they need it. And with the white, I think white is like pretty cool. So with this one, I'm not going to put anything here. In terms of the pink, I'm going to hope that it can be seen all by itself. So maybe I should take that back and just for here, just right across the top, okay, just so it's a visual that there's something there. Okay, all right. So now it's more of a library pocket vibe on this side, right? Vibe, not exactly, just a vibe. And I'm a little off with the scoring. Hold up, I didn't burnish that well. Okay, so again, it looks a little bit blah because, right, it's on, you know, nothing's, you have plenty of time to decorate. So there we go. Those are our 3 complete, I mean, technically, right, they're complete. They are whatever, they're ready to be decorated. They go into your stash. You made it from one piece of 110 card, 110. Let's you know what? I'm gonna be nice. Let me get a piece of paper. I could write this down for you. Well, no, I can't. From 8.5 by 11, 110 cardstock. We cut them at 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and we had that little smidgen left over, right? Then we took 3 sheets of paper. It could be any kind of paper you want. You could have put music sheets in here. You could put book pages in here, regular coffee dyed paper, whatever the case is. We cut it at 3.25, 3.25, 3.25, and we wound up having these little strips left over. Okay. Then deciding what design you want, you may have stuff left over or not. So with this one, we were able to use the green strip. With this one, we just incorporated a piece of ribbon and make it a straight card. This looks like a tag, but it has a little pocket in the back. So we accented that little pocket with the extra green. Got a little bit too much glue. Not that it's kind of tight because this is hard cardstock. And then with this one, we have a library pocket type vibe. And so again, we have the pocket is kind of tight because it's 110 cardstock. 110 pound cardstock from Michaels. So we have this and this. That's all our scraps. I think that's a job well done. And so you know what? We'll make something out of this and we'll put it in there. And now it's not a scrap. Same thing here. Let's make something out of here, right? Let's give them some scraps so they could do something with them. You know what? And we can let's put those in here for some added color on the back right now. It may seem silly, okay? Right? Hey, junk journaling, right? And then we'll put this bad boy over here with a little something there. He's a little too loose here, but that's okay. Look, we used everything. Technically 4 sheets of paper. Anyway, hopefully that you've enjoyed this little how-to tutorial, the stuff that's rattling off in my brain and keeps me up at night. Only kidding. And if you are new, please consider subscribing. If you have been with me before, thank you so much for returning. As with anything, please, everybody like, comment, and that way you can come back. You ring the bell, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to incorporate that to my outros, but anyway, until the next time, hopefully you've been inspired. Thank you so much, and ciao, ciao. Bye.